Wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, sitting here in the sunshine, feeling good. So today I'm bringing you a video, and there's going to be a lot of response on this one because I'm bringing you a video of 2 budget skinners that you could be proud to own. And what's going to happen is I'm going to go over these 2 blades, and these are just 2 that I happen to pick out of the collection to go over. And I'm going to get a bunch of people saying, oh no, you got to go with this one, or oh no, I'm not doing the best. This isn't a video of the best 2 skinners, budget skinners that you can own. No, I'm just saying 2 very viable options. 2 options that if you had a chance to grab them, grab them. They're good knives, or maybe they're not. But that's what we're going to try and figure out. We're going to go over these blades, and just as far as having them and owning them and what they are, I mean, without doing any kind of like hard work, they're going to be decent. This one right here, I've already been prying with. We painted some windows shut, and I used this knife to stick in there and wedge the window. At first I cut the paint line, and then I wedged the window open with this knife, and I didn't break the tip or anything like that. And this one right here is the Uncle Henry by Schrade. You can find these at Walmart all day long. I think under 20 bucks. It's about 8 inches long with a 3.5-inch blade. This is the bigger size. It fits the hand really, really well. I mean, really well. It's a great fit in the hand. You'll notice, obviously, it's true full tang, but it's an exposed tang, and it just gives these faux antler scales there that are screwed on. But so far, I've used this not a lot, but I mean, the shape is what caught me. I absolutely love this drop point. It's just got this beautiful continuous curve with nothing getting in the way of it. It's just a great swoop. It has a huge finger choil here, and it's just so far been a really good little knife. The nylon sheath is something to overlook. However, it's what is keeping the cost really freaking low on this knife, and it's going to be like a stainless steel, like a 440. This one right here, I believe, is a high carbon version. But again, it's just a nice little knife. This is by Cisco. It's called the Blacksmith Skinner. And you can see it's 6 inches long with a 3-inch handle. Now, normally, anything that size I'm not going to do well with. It's a 3-finger hold. I was just doing work in the basement, and I am dirty and dusty. But for you smaller hand guys especially, is going to be great. But what this is this would make a great pocket fixed blade. And you see Scabber over at Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors constantly talking about how he loves to use a pocket fixed blade. This is the kind of thing you could take in your sheath and do it. I never really carried a pocket fixed blade, but like with small handguns, little micro guns, I would put them in a sheath and put them in my pocket because the sheath keeps it nice and square. It holds it to the pocket, and it would work. And it's really the same thing with one of these. Yes, it has a belt loop. Yes, it has a really nice leather sheath. I mean, this is genuine leather. The smell is amazing. So definitely you're getting a better sheath here. You're getting a really nice, like a red stained wood. It's pinned on it again, true full tang. And this one is kind of like hammered in with little decorations, but it's got a really nice swoop, and again, it's a drop point. And it almost even has like almost a baby recurve, but it looks like it, but it's not. It's just a drop belly. It's a pretty sweet little knife. And again, these things you could probably find on eBay or Amazon dirt cheap. Again, sub 20 bucks, right? So these are going to be 2 skinners that are absolute budget options. One of them is 2 inches bigger, so depending on what you like to carry or what you don't like to carry or what state you live in, this, if you throw it on the belt and you have a t-shirt on or whatever, this is going to hide. Nobody's ever going to see this. It's just perfect size for a fixed blade that you might need. And what I'm going to go over is, can they be used as EDCs? And it's a Skinner, so yeah, you know what I mean? You don't even need to test it to figure that out. Anytime you have a pointy thing with a edge on it, yeah, you can use it as an EDC as long as it's not, this big. So let's go over and just see some of the cutting abilities with this. And this is EDC type stuff, which means it's not going to be, I mean, there's both skinners, but they're not your EDCs. However, you know, there's nothing saying they can't be. So let's start by grabbing this cardboard. You guys always asleep on the job, you guys. All right, so we got this cardboard box, and I got a cobweb, and I'm telling you, I was in the basement. New washer dryer coming in. I had to get in there and do some stuff. All right, so EDC. Here we go. Even though let's bring you down. Let's bring you down. This tape is a little weathered. We're still going to be able to, I'm sure, have no problem cutting it. Remember, these are both used edges, so they're not 100%, you know, perfectly new, but they're both working edges, right? So just absolutely fine there, no problem. Can we use the other guy as an EDC? So you're working in the factory, or you're working in Home Depot or whatever. Yep, it's going to be able to cut the tape open for a box. Yep, it's going to be able to rip open a box. I mean, when you're talking about EDCs, most of the time with an EDC, it's just to cut the everyday stuff, right? That's what EDCs are used for mainly. If you are an outdoorsman, your EDC might be used for a little bit more. However, not all the time. So let's do a couple of 4-foot drops, tip to stump, 4 feet in the air, and see how they fall. And so far, when you talk about balance on a small knife, it really doesn't matter, because it's not something that you're going to be winging around, right? I mean, can you? Yeah. I mean, is it something that you are going to be twirling and having fun with? No, generally not. But a lot of people like to know what the balance is. Let's do a couple hard downward throws. We will see if any of the scales are going to loosen, and we'll check the overall bite. Ba-boom, and ba-boom. And let's see. This guy went in pretty deep. This old Schrade Uncle Henry Walmart specials, and this one went in just a little bit over an inch. So that's not bad. That's not bad either. I don't know if we'll be able to get a push cut out of these because they are used edges, but we will see. Ugh. Well, I didn't expect it, but it happened. All right, so the edge, even a little bit used on the Cisco Cisco blacksmith Skinner, is sharp enough to do a push cut without sawing, and with a little bit of power. So is this Schrade Uncle Henry. So now remember, like, if you are looking for a backup knife or just an extra knife, or you just don't like to spend a lot, maybe you really do just use it for cutting open packages and things like that, you don't need to spend $200 on a knife. That's just dumb. If you're not using a knife that way, then I would recommend something budgety, because as long as the budget knife is strong and it's not going to snap in half, then who cares? If you know how to do gentle sharpening, just easy sharpening on a stone or whatever, who cares? It's really, really simple. But it's really all you need when you're talking about fixed blade EDCs. Now, if these are going to be your all-time or full-time skinners, where you're going out and you're taking down a deer or whatever, maybe not so much, because you want something that's going to stay sharp for a little bit longer. You don't want to get dull in the middle of processing. But that's just what that is. This one, I have to say, it feels like a hollow grind, and I like it. The more and more I use it, it's not so bad. This one is a saber grind, and it's just comfortable. I don't know what it is about this little knife that I just take it out every now and then to use, because it's comfortable. Hey, and they even throw that far. All right, so what we want to do is we want to find something to feather stick and maybe hammer into. And I say we hammer into something first, and we're just going to go sideways into a piece of wood, because I don't have anything near me to go along. But easy. Now let's take this one down. Let's take this one down. And again, easy. They're both just going to do the job. As far as something like that's concerned, it's no problem. And these are just little budget knives, especially as a backup knife or whatever. And here's something I do. Whenever I go on vacation, if I'm flying somewhere, I can't bring knives. So what I'll do is I'll either go to Walmart or some gas station or, you know, or some novelty vacation store, and I'll pick myself up a knife just for using on vacation, and that's all I use it for. Then I throw it away at the end of my vacation, whatever I'm done with. So there's stuff like that where if you can find something really, really cheap, this wood's just falling apart here, really, really cheap, then that could help you out, especially if you just are used to carrying something and you're in a situation where you couldn't bring a knife. Well, it's really easy to go to Walmart and spend, you know, $9.99 on a cheap knife and get all the use out of it you're going to need, right? So that's these guys just doing basic EDC stuff. But what about what they're made for? They're made to skin, right? So let's figure out if these use blades, and I haven't sharpened either of them since I got them, and I've had each of them over a year. So let's start with the Schrade Uncle Henry and this leather soccer ball. And so far, I mean, it kind of cruised right through that little piece of leather. Let's see what this guy will do. Now this one, for me, because my hands are massive, it's a lot harder to get a grip on it, to get it started. But we will see what we can do here. And I just poked myself. All right, but once I get it started, it's not so bad, right? So let's see here. I got you in film. This little hollow grind, it just comes sharp. Just comes sharp. This little Schrade, it came pretty sharp. It came pretty sharp. This one definitely came a little sharper out of the box. But both of them absolutely get the job down. So for, like, let's say an emergency skinning, you have a budget knife. Can you get it done? Can you use them? Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. They're both knives. It's an edged piece, right? An edged weapon. So yeah, you can definitely use it. Look at that. Look at that. A little guy. This guy right here has a nice little swell right here. So when I two finger it, I can put my one finger, my index finger, dead in the center of this grip. And this one is being held on just by all that meat right here. And it's allowing me to get a really healthy swing, and something that I didn't expect. So this one has got this little curly guy right here for the lanyard hole. But the fact is, it's just a bigger knife, so it's okay. But they both, for short swings, will chop little tiny things. Is this something you can use it for? Freaking no, don't be stupid. But the fact that they can do it says, all right, they both have a decent enough grip to where you're going to be able to find what you need to get them done. These two guys right here, I have to say, I don't know what's crawling on my ear. I have to say, aren't so bad. They're not so bad, right? I mean, these guys are budget pieces, between $10 and $20 a piece. That's what you can expect to spend on these guys. And who knows, on sales at Walmart, you might even, who knows, find this maybe sub $10. I don't know. But I know this guy right here. Look up the Cisco Blacksmith Skinner. It's, I mean, price point for price point, it's kind of hard to beat a leather sheath, a real leather sheath, for what they sell these things for. But either one, both good options. Both good options for fixed blade, Skinner, EDCs, basically, you know, however you want to call it. But they're both not bad. I would take these any day just as a EDC for the day. It's like rotational carries, why not? If I'm on vacation and I needed to stop at Walmart to get myself a little blade and I wanted a fixed blade, I would have no problems grabbing this thing at Walmart. No problem at all. If I could find one of these, I'd grab that thing in a heartbeat. Just not bad. Are they your best options? No. So don't give me the, oh no, you should have done this instead. I don't care. I just had these two sitting around, and I figured, why not do a video showing that you can use budget skinners as EDCs? And both of them are fine. I don't need to sharpen either of them. Both edges are still good. So that's it. Don't be afraid of the cheapies. A lot of the knife snobs are going to tell you, oh, don't buy that garbage. It's going to break in a week, and you'll have to sharpen it over and over again, and it'll never hold an edge. Well, I've had these both over a year. This one has been carving windows lately, and it's held up just fine. I just did a push cut. This guy I use around all the time because it's so small. It's just very convenient to have sitting around, and I have it to where I have 3 girls in the house. They have small hands, and when they need to cut something, this is usually around the in between the dining room and the kitchen, and it's something that I always leave accessible. They just grab it and they use it. So this thing has opened a whole lot of packages in the last year because that's what they use it for, and cutting the little plastic tag things off of clothing for their shopping. So it's done a whole lot of that, and it was still able to do a push cut on a 1/2-inch nylon rope. Not so bad. So don't listen to the knife snobs. They don't know what they're talking about. Knife snobs only talk shit about things they've never used. Remember that. So that's it for this one. Short video, nice and easy. I'm done with this one. It's starting to get a little windy now. I am Donnie B all day. Until next night.